Hi guys, welcome to Travel with Austin. I'm Austin. Today we are here once again at the Ridges. Now, we are going to be exploring the abandoned section of the Kirkbride, and honestly, this may be the last time that we get to see this section while it's still abandoned, because at the time of filming, in just a few months, the new community authority is scheduled to take over the Ridges property, or at least parts of it, and work on renovating it, restoring it, and providing adaptive reuse examples for it. So this may be the last time we get to see it fully abandoned, but I'm so happy that they are going to come in and save the building, because OU wasn't. So we are starting at the very top, and we're just going to start looking around. So in the past few years, this building has become more open to people who explore, and I'm sure most of them do explore respectfully, but it's also been more open to people who come in and graffiti it. Now, luckily, this floor is not as bad as the other ones, I think because there's only a single staircase up here, so a lot of people probably miss it. Most of the stuff here, like this pentagram that is fading away, was already here back when I first explored this section back in like 2020, I want to say. So now this is the section that has wood floors. Yeah, there's a lot more trash up here. Now I do believe that there's concrete underneath these wood floors, but I'm not 100% sure. But they do seem sound, which is good. So then, of course, we have the entrance to part of the attic here, and we're not going to go through the whole thing, but I am, of course, going to show you, at least from a distance, part of the hole in the roof here that OU has not taken care of and has caused damage to the actual building. You may be able to see up there we have one of the black vultures. They're pretty chill dudes. They won't do anything. And then down here on this end, again, completely falling apart. So I do think and hope that will probably be one of the first priorities from the community authority, will be to get that all set back up. So we're going to wave goodbye to our little vulture friend up there, and let's head down to the more Kirkbride-y sections. Although, yes, this is, of course, still part of the Kirkbride. So, of course, we're going to make sure that door is shut so the birds can't get into the actual asylum part. So, now, there is another attic just above this part. It's very small. It's going to be kind of the same looking as the other one, so it's not worth going into. But now we are going to head down a floor. And we're going to start in the mental retardation annex, which is what they called this when it was open. This is attached to the back wing of the actual Kirkbride section, and it in itself is not part of the Kirkbride design, and as you can tell, is very different. So we're going to walk to the end of it and then explore our way back out into the Kirkbride hallways. So on this top floor at the very end, we have what we believe was kind of like a day room type situation. This one is large. It's one single room. On the other floors, you'll see that they are kind of broken in half. Now here is the very dark staircase for the mental retardation center. Then we do have these rooms off to the sides. And I actually really like these because these doors are beautiful. Again, most of the rooms are empty right now. They do still have some drapes on the walls and stuff. And we have We have Gavin hiding in the corner, that's why I jumped. And then next to them, you'll see, little rooms with boxes and stuff where they can take a look and watch them. Some of them still have some names on them. So, I don't think I should probably say the names, but there are still names on some of them. Then we do have a bathroom. There is still a comb left behind here. Can't be sure, if it's original or not, but it has been here for a long time. Then again, we have some orange curtains here. Now, across from the actual bathroom area, we have the shower area. So you can see we have a shower here, then we have 2 tubs here, and again, you'll notice how much graffiti is on these walls now. That wasn't here just a few years ago. It is rather unfortunate. So going through here, most of these rooms are empty and kind of the same. Some of them might have extra details like a door left behind, but I do believe, yes, so we kind of have like a little kitchenette area on each floor. So this is this floor's. And then we do have these right here. Now in an older video, I did incorrectly say that these were the staircases. This is actually the door to the elevator. Obviously not in operation anymore, and I haven't really ever seen too often an elevator that has a door like that. But yes, that was the elevator doors. Again, more bathrooms here. And I believe we'll have the same on the other side. Yeah. So, now then we have the ramp going into the main Kirkbride, which is really weird because this building was built after, so I'm not sure why they didn't just build it level. But also, in the middle of the ramp is interrupted by stairs into another bathroom. Now, as you can tell from the graffiti, someone has pooped in that toilet. Unfortunately, I can confirm that that was at least true as of a few years ago, because I made the mistake of going into that bathroom and looking in it. I'm not sure if it's still there or someone else did more, but yeah. So again, as we walk through the halls, you're gonna notice a ton of graffiti that wasn't here in my previous videos here. Unfortunately, people have been coming in and tagging the building. This is part of the reason why I can't wait for the community authority to take over so that they can, take care of the building, and hopefully they'll keep some of the colorfulness of the original Asylum, unlike the renovated section, which is just a lifeless white color. Now, there also are certain things in here. I do believe most of these were here before that are not tagging. They're like some sort of symbol for maybe renovation crews. Also, look at how gorgeous this room still is. It's got its blue color, it's still got perfect drapes, still a light bulb hanging down. So, and you also may notice on some of the floors there's arrows pointing towards the exits and stuff, which I don't think are taggers. I think they are, things that were done by crews that are getting ready for renovation, hopefully. So something like this, I don't think that was done by a tagger. I could be wrong. Now, unfortunately, directly below where the roof is out, we do have some claps. Again, I really do hope that the community authority is going to address that as their first priority. We have the beautiful circle detail here, which I absolutely love so much, and is one of my favorite features. And it's so weird because it's Not in the other side of the asylum. And I'm not sure if it's just a situation where it was on that side of the asylum at one point and then it was covered up, or if it just never was. Now, we also do have some brick here that is looking pretty bad that hopefully they will address pretty quickly. I'm not really sure. Oh, sorry. This door is beautiful. The way it's peeling and everything. I'm not really sure what their funding looks like or their priorities or anything like that. But hopefully they will address like stuff like that very, very quickly. Just to keep the building sound. Because this building is a treasure. And in my opinion, the greatest building in Athens and probably Ohio, honestly. So we are going to continue to walk down the halls. And right now we are in what they consider Building 3, but it's all part of the same wing. We have these beautiful little rooms here. I forget the exact word for this. I think it's a turret. But I love these rooms so much. You can see we still have some desks and stuff here, which is really cool. And actually, this chair over here was originally in that turret area. So it was moved at some point. We do have a hanging light, which kind of a bit scary that it's just hanging here and could fall down at any time. But, you know, such is life. Now, if you're not familiar with Kirkbride Asylums and you've made it this far into the video, sidetrack. This is always the weirdest thing to me, just this saloon-style door to a bathroom. Anyway, if you are not familiar with Kirkbride Asylums and you have made it this far into the video, first of all, congratulations and thank you. Second of all, Kirkbrides were an asylum build style, started in the 1800s, and basically the idea was to make these large buildings with very large ceilings, lots of windows for natural light, and lots of airflow, because they believed that it could help in the treatment of mental illness. Now, Lucy said that she believes the buildings in here are about 12 feet tall, the ceilings in here are about 12 feet tall, which I could definitely see. Of course, there are windows everywhere. You can see all this natural light coming in. Airflow is a bit harder right now because there are ventilation systems in the basement that would have pushed air up throughout the whole building. But obviously, those are no longer in use. And that's probably a good thing given the amount of lead dust in here. But the Kirkbride Asylum also had what is called a batwing design. So there would be the central admin building, and then on each side would be the wings, and they would jut out and look like a batwing, which is really cool. In my opinion, the Ridges is the best still standing example of a Kirkbride, other than probably Fergus Falls. There are still several standing, but most of them have had some alterations to their Kirkbride section, or things such as the Northern Michigan Asylum, the Kirkbride up there. It is now completely renovated in the actual Kirkbride section. So, while it still has some original details, it is far from what it used to be. Now, the big thing with the Ridges is that when OU took over, or possibly, I will say possibly before them, since this section was disused longer, they concreted off the entrance to the admin section. So, right across that brick wall is the third floor of the Kennedy Museum of Art. Now, that floor is currently not in use, but I have been able to tour that. The Kennedy Museum did let me tour that, and there are videos of that. And then this one leads to a building that was just labeled, or leads to a room that was just labeled classroom. But again, these are both bricked off, and you can't get to them now. So, the buildings originally would have connected from end to end, but they no longer do. So, we'll take some look at the rooms as we go through. just so you can get an idea of, this is the room that a patient would have lived in. It's, very small. You, of course, would not have had your own bathroom or sink or anything like that. You kind of just would have been in here just like everyone else. So, yeah. I like to compare things to dorm rooms, especially since this is on a college campus. And these rooms are, of course, much smaller than dorm rooms. The Buffalo Kirkbride, which has been transformed into the Hotel Richardson, I believe they say that it is 2.5 patient rooms to one single hotel room. So, if that gives you an idea of anything. So, we're going to continue down to the second floor. And we're going to again start on this end. So again, here's where it's blocked off. Another thing I don't understand is again why they made these level changes. It would have been so much easier to just make everything level, in my opinion. But maybe there's an actual reason for that. Now, this room, I don't know what it was for, but I do love it. It's got this blue divider in it, and it's still got this neat ceiling in it. So, now this section that we're in was discontinued use sometime in the 1970s. We do think it was near Christmas time, because there are certain windows with like snowmen drawn on them, and there's a few other like details that signify Christmas time, and I'll try to point them out when we get to them. So again, this area, the walls aren't hit as much with graffiti as the like the remaining furniture and stuff here, and unfortunately it's pretty bad graffiti too. But there is this beautiful room back here behind this desk, and you can see we have these doors here, which were like pocket doors that were added in at some point. They are obviously not original. We do have this same type of ceiling, but all of the tiles on it are out. And this was most likely someone's office or like a nurse's station, something like that. And it does still have some of the wallpaper on the walls, but most of it has fallen off. And some wood paneling designs here. So that area is definitely not original, but I think it's interesting. It's kind of a nice contrast compared to everything else in here. And then here's the other rolling door. So, again, I love all the beautiful colors that these asylums had. It really disappoints me that OU just completely painted the other side white, because colors were part of the asylum and part of its history. Now we do have some storage areas and stuff. Nothing too interesting. There is a bathroom. And let's see. Yeah, so most of the rooms here are empty. Whatever was here was either taken out or stolen a long time ago for most of these areas. But we still do have, the colorful remains left behind. So this is, of course, another bathroom. You can see it's yellow, it's got blue sinks. It does still have a ball light that has not been destroyed, which is really cool because in other areas of the asylum, which I believe is this hallway, you'll see we have the remains of similar lights. They've all been broken. So just showing you guys around a little bit. Oh, that's interesting. That still has something glass in it, but it's filled with gross water, so we're not going to touch it. There's also this perfume bottle here. We do think it's more modern because it's made of plastic, and it's still filled with something in it. So we didn't want to mess with it too much, but I don't know, it's kind of cool. Now the cone lights in here are still in place, but if you look at that wall, it's not the best look for the wall, but that is just the plaster at the very least. So as long as the brick behind it is good, everything would be good. More looks over here. Then again, we do have another nurse's station here. Sounds like we have an ambulance going out to someone. These premises are protected by silver theft controls. Shoplifters will be prosecuted. Maybe that's where they kept medication? I'm not sure. So, the cool thing about the Ridges is that there are still many people alive who worked here, possibly even people who were treated here. So you do get to hear some unique stories from people. Some of them are kind of funny. Like one of the former superintendents apparently was very much a drunk and would drink on the job. So again, we have another one of these turrets that was like made into an office. And it's just a very beautiful room. And if you look here, hey, here's the Christmas stuff. So, again, it's all very cool. I love this building so much. And although I will be sad to not be able to explore it anymore, I am happy that something good will happen to it. And I'm happy that it's happening outside of OU, because I do think that the community authority probably cares more about the building than OU does. Now, this is a room we call the children's room, and it's going to be pretty easy to see why. So, we have all these murals and stuff in them. Let the sun shine in, a cabin in the woods, a rainbow in a pot of gold. So, lots of cool paintings in that room, and because of that we call it the children's room. Let's see, I don't think there's anything really in here. No, just some more falling apart. So we will continue down this hallway, and once again, we had a circle here, but you can see it is filled in, which now we have to go in here, and it is filled in on this end as well. So the other end probably did have them at one point, and they were filled in. The question is why? I think it's a very unique thing to have in the building. So it makes me sad that they were filled in, at least somewhat. So, again, lots of rooms. These ones are a bit bigger. So, they probably either held multiple people, or maybe there was like a way that you could get a bigger room. I'm not really sure. I wish I knew more details about stuff like that. Now, while I do not like graffiti, I have to say the Babadook, a gay icon as it says, is kind of funny to have in here. And of course, there's a ton of other graffiti in here as well. I just wish people wouldn't tag up historic buildings like this. Again, another beautiful turret room. And we are continuing down. I think that's Satan, or supposed to be Satan, but Beelzebub or whatever. But most of these are just not even anything artistic in them. So, we can just take a look at some more of the rooms. The rooms are mostly going to be the same. I do want to document as much of this building as possible, though. So here is one that's a little bit different. Again, this is like another little kitchenette area. Does look like it's connected to a room next to it. So this was crane. Oh. Not sure what this is, but that's interesting. I've never tried to open these. Yeah, so they're just empty and filled with chip paint. Now this room is very beautiful. It's half blue, half purplish pink. And I just love the way it looks. And again, it still has its drapes. Assuming that these drapes are left over from when it shut down, these drapes are over 50 years old. And most of them still look great other than some tears. Now there is a fake fireplace on this floor. Originally, when I first came here, I didn't know what it was or why they did it. But after reaching out to former employees, one of them said they believed that it was from a competition they had around Christmas time. Unfortunately, as you can see, people have spray painted on it, which is very annoying. Now we're going to head back into the mental retardation center. Another bathroom here. At the very least, this one's at the top of the ramp. And again, we have the shower / bath area. We have a bathroom over here. And we have the kitchenette area. So, yeah. Now there's lots of plans for this. I believe that they want to do some apartments, they want to do some shops, and they also want to do senior living, I believe. I'm not exactly sure which parts are designated for which at this point, but I would absolutely love to live in an apartment in the Ridges, honestly. I do think, and don't quote me on this, but they are trying for affordable housing for those apartments, but I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, as we just go down, a lot of this building design is going to be the same on every floor, because that kind of is part of the purpose of the Kirkbride plan. But again, like I said, on these lower floors, these rooms are separated. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure if it was like a gender thing or what. We think that they were probably day rooms of some sort, but also, in my opinion, these would make more sense as day rooms because they are much, much larger. So, I don't personally know. We are making our best guess based off the information we have, which unfortunately is not a lot. So now we are going to head down to the first floor and explore it. And hey, I know this is a pretty long video, so if you made it this far, thank you so much. This building has been my passion since I first saw it, and I have done so much to try to keep up on the news of it and spread news when I can. So it really means a lot that other people are also interested in the Ridges. Ooh, it is getting a little dark. That's weird. So, we are again going to head to the very back of this building and then make our way back out. Now, I probably will be a little bit quieter in here because we are closer to the ground level and sound travels a lot in here. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and, again, we're going to start at the back. And again, separated. This one is actually separated into 3 different ones instead of just 2. Now, we're going to look in this room first, which is just kind of filled with a bunch of junk. I don't know what that is, but at some point it looks like it said Native American, probably collection. Interesting. Hopefully, oh, look at that. Native American weavings and jewelry from the collection of Edwin L. and Ruth E. Kennedy from 1992. Wow. So yeah, as you can tell, they use the building for a lot of storage. Now this room is interesting. Unfortunately, the doors no longer open. They seem stuck. But we have like this fake brick facade in here. A few years ago when I first came here, I was able to go in here and let me make sure, yeah, it's still. And they're kind of like a rubbery material. So, very interesting in my opinion. And then again, bathrooms and showers, things like that. There is a pot here, I don't know why. Even though this was a later addition and does kind of take away from the overall Kirkbride look, I do think that this building is important, and at this point is a part of what people think of when they think of the Ridges. So I do hope that this one stays and is renovated. As far as I know, they aren't planning to tear down any buildings at this time, but you know, things always change. So so if you've ever seen the outside of the Ridges, you'll see the things on the roof that are detailing. This is actually some of them in here. Some have fallen off, so I'm assuming that that was them collecting them and storing them in here to hopefully put back on later, so that way they don't have to order more. Beautiful pink room with this baby chair. That baby chair was not originally there. I do believe it was on a completely different floor. Now, this would be one of the isolation rooms. So, they could literally lock it up so you didn't see sunlight and people would only interact with you through this door. Now, this one is a full block. However, I'm sure we will pass by another one where they have some holes in it, so sunlight can come through, just not a lot, and you really wouldn't get to see the outside world all too much. So, whew. I don't think we'll see one in this section, honestly, but I'll check just in case. Yeah, so none in this section, but we may see some further on. Again, another beautiful circle detail. And then entering out into one of the hallways. So this staircase is actually like very interesting because it's the only one of its kind in the asylum that I've seen. It is collapsed right there, but I've still gone up and down it several times. What that says about me, you can make your own decision. So again, I also am just now noticing, and I could be wrong, but it does seem like all the isolation rooms that I've seen have been on the back end of the asylum. So, okay, here's one. So see, with this one, they could close it. You'd still get light from up above, but you'd get a little bit of light from this door, but you wouldn't really be able to see anything unless you put your eye up to it. You can see we have the beautiful stenciling that says it is a seclusion room. Another turret room here. Beautiful. And as we continue down, we're actually nearing the end of our journey, which is a bit sad, but I'm glad to have documented so much of this place over the years, and I'm glad that by the time this video is up, hopefully, it will be transferred over to new ownership who will work hard on fixing it. So, here we are in the final hallway that we're going to take a look at today. You can see we still have a desk here, and you know, we have the rooms. Look at this beautiful blue drape. It is in perfect condition. Wow. And you can also see things that I haven't pointed out along the way, like the piping and the electrical boxes, since this place wasn't originally built for electricity. You have another turret here. It is really weird to me that they didn't just top off most of these so that they would look complete. And then down here at the end, we do have the entrance to what would now be the Kennedy Museum. And as you can see on this level, there is no elevation change. So I do not understand the elevation changes at all. And then finally, our last room for today's journey is just filled with a bunch of old radiators from the asylum and some wooden materials and old fireplace frames. So that has been all for today's video. Once again, this is the Ridges in Athens, Ohio, and by the time this video goes up, this building will most likely be in the hands of the new community authority, who are going to work on restoring it and providing adaptive reuse for it. I wish them the best of luck, and I can't wait to see what happens. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.